What if Luffy awakened his Gear 5th in Wano? It's wild to think that Luffy barely managed to awaken Gear 5th at the last possible moment in Wano. But what if he had unlocked this godlike power earlier? What if, instead of falling to Kaido over and over, Luffy had discovered his true potential right in the heat of battle? Would the entire war change? Would Kaido still be standing? Would the world government have made their move sooner? To explore this alternate timeline, we go back to the moment when Kaido delivered the final blow on the rooftop of Onigashima. In the original story, Luffy is knocked out, falls into the sea, and is later revived. But in this reality, something changes. As Luffy's consciousness fades, something deep inside him stirs. His heartbeat starts drumming. Suddenly, his body starts changing. His lifeless form bounces back, eyes opening wide with a grin that stretches year to year. Then, boom! A massive shockwave erupts from his body, sending Kaido skidding backwards. Luffy, now glowing pure white, rises back onto the rooftop, his laughter echoing across Onigashima. Kaido's eyes narrow. What is that? Luffy doesn't answer. He just stretches his arm forward in a bizarre, cartoonish way. But something's off. The very air bends with him. The ground beneath him warps like rubber. Kaido grips his club tighter. He's never seen anything like this before. Without warning, Luffy grabs the ground like a rug, lifts it up, and flings Kaido across Onigashima. The battlefield erupts into chaos. The beast pirates stop mid-fight, unable to process what they're seeing. Even Big Mom stares in confusion. Kaido snarls, recovering mid-air. Damn brat! He rushes back with a Thunder Bagua, Haki crackling off his club. It's the same attack that had instantly knocked Luffy out before. But this time, Luffy laughs. The club swings straight onto his head, only for it to bend like rubber, snapping back into place. Luffy's eyes comically bulge out, his tongue lolling to the side. Then, snap! His face bounces back, and he grabs Kaido's club mid-swing, twisting it like a noodle before slamming Kaido into the ground with an oversized fist. Kaido coughs up blood. For the first time in years, he feels something he hasn't felt in decades. Fear! The battlefield watches in absolute silence. The scabards can't believe their eyes. Yamato, gripping her weapon tightly, whispers, "Could this be Nika?" Momonosuke, still flying, watches in awe. Kaido roars in frustration, shifting into his full dragon form. His scales shimmer with heat, his body becoming a serpent of pure fire. This is his most powerful transformation, the form that had melted Luffy's strongest attacks before. But this time, Luffy isn't worried. Instead, he grabs a bolt of lightning from the sky. With a crazed grin, he spins it like a lasso, hurling it straight at Kaido. The lightning crashes through Kaido's body, sending bolts of electricity crackling through his massive frame. Kaido screams, his flaming scales flickering, unable to withstand the bizarre reality-bending force of Gear 5th. Kaido isn't just fighting Luffy anymore. He's fighting the power of a living legend. Knowing he can't afford to hold back, Kaido prepares for a final all-or-nothing attack. He coats himself in a vortex of Haki-infused flames, launching a devastating full-power blast breath. Luffy grins wider. He's seen this before. Instead of dodging, he inflates his entire body, becoming a massive balloon-like version of himself. The blast breath hits him directly, only to bounce off his rubbery skin like a toy ball. Kaido stares in disbelief. Luffy, still laughing, pulls his fist back, so massive it blots out the moon. The sky splits apart, the island shakes. Every single fighter in Wano feels the weight of what's coming next. Kaido lets out a final roar, preparing to counter with his club. Then, boom! Luffy's fist crashes down, hitting Kaido with enough force to shake the entire island. The impact sends shockwaves through Wano, tearing the very land beneath them apart. Kaido plummets from the sky, his body driven into the heart of the flowered capital. The citizens look up in horror as the massive dragon form crashes down, shaking the earth with a deafening impact. For the first time in decades, the ruler of Wano has fallen. The clouds break. The sun begins to rise over Wano. The people in the flower capital, unaware of the chaos that unfolded above them, watch in stunned silence. Momonosuke, still hovering in his massive dragon form, stares at the crater below. He can barely comprehend what just happened. The ruler of Wano for over 20 years lies motionless. His massive dragon body, once feared by all, is now still. Smoke rising from his battered form. He turns toward Yamato, his voice shaky. "It's over, right?" Yamato exhales, gripping her kanabo tightly. She nods slowly. Yeah, Kaido's reign is over. A wave of relief washes over the battlefield. The samurai drop their weapons. The surviving members of the Alliance, Kid, Law, the Scabards, collapse from exhaustion. Even Big Mom, still weakened from her battle, lets out a low growl, realizing that Wano has slipped from her grasp. But in this timeline, things don't end there. Because with Kaido gone, Wano is leaderless. And in the world of pirates, a power vacuum this large, it never stays empty for long. And the worst possible people step in. From the coast of Wano, massive tremors shake the land. The seas churn violently as if reacting to something unnatural. Then a sinister black mist spreads across the horizon. The air grows heavy, suffocating thick with an eerie presence. From the mist, multiple ships emerge, each bearing a familiar skull marked Jolly Roger. The Blackbeard pirates have arrived. Teach wastes no time. He steps off the ship, his massive frame looming over his crew, a twisted grin spreading across his face. His signature wicked laughter echoes across the battlefield. Looks like I made it just in time. The surviving warriors of Wano barely have time to react before Teach and his commanders move in. Shiryu unsheaths his sword, vanishing into thin air. Burgess cracks his knuckles, the ground shaking beneath him. Luffy hovers above the ruins, his wings spread wide, scanning for easy targets. They aren't here to fight a war. They're here to pick at the bones of a dying battlefield. With Kaido defeated and the samurai weakened beyond belief, Wano has never been more vulnerable. Teach's grin widens as he steps forward, eyes locking onto Kaido's body. I'll be taking what's left. Y'all don't mind, right? But standing in his way, a fully awakened, laughing Luffy. Teach freezes. The cocky grin on his face falters. His instincts scream at him. Something is wrong. Luffy is different. This isn't the same reckless, grinning fool he met back in Impelled Down. The energy radiating from him is unnatural, overpowering, and his entire body crackles with divine power. His white hair shines in the sunlight. His eyes burn with something indescribable. And worst of all, he's laughing. Not in mockery, not in arrogance, but in pure, wild, untamed joy of someone who has never felt more free. Teach stares, Luffy grins, and the rest of the world has no idea what's coming next. Because this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this what-if scenario, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more epic One Piece alternate timelines.